The dangerous trap of health anxiety. What is happening, guys? Welcome back to the Adam Donegan YouTube channel. All right, guys. So I'm going to be talking today about health anxiety. Now, I thank God that I haven't delved like massively deep into this type of anxiety, and it is obviously, well, it says in the name, it's regarding your health. Now, this definitely does premise the fact that when you are early in the stages of recovery and are obviously recovering from anxiety, it's most likely that you are still afraid of the physical sensations. You are still afraid of the physical symptoms, and also whatever symptoms the anxiety manifests. Now, why being fearful of why when the anxiety comes and the fear comes, you have a direct fear of the fear itself, creating this vicious cycle. And what we obviously learn in cognitive behavioral therapy is that we are not in danger whatsoever. We are teaching, the amygdala and also our prefrontal cortex that there's no actual danger there. And then, of course, that's how the brain relearns, and then our nervous system desensitizes, and then we are back to, I think they call it homeostasis. It's just where the mind and the body where it needs to be. I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I've just heard that term and it sounded like quite advanced. So yeah, I haven't yeah. So yeah, basically, guys. So so with health anxiety, why it is so. I think it is a real epidemic amongst anxiety sufferers, and for this one reason. And I was listening to Dr. Harry Barry on this, and he's a therapist. He's amazing on, he is so clued up on anxiety, and he talks about how one of the biggest disasters has been going to Doctor Google. So if you are an anxiety sufferer, like myself, you will know that Google has not helped us at all when it comes to anxiety. Um, for the simple reason that simply, so basically, if I go into Google and type in a symptom of my anxiety, I can I can find five different other conditions that could be fatal. And I laugh to myself about it because, and it sounds ridiculous, but when you are in this state of anxiety, you are convinced that there is actually something worse going on. um and it can actually, of course, the fear plus the other fear that you have for the for the physical sensations manifest, and then the cycle continues on, and then you got Google telling you then that you may have, you know, a potentially fatal condition when it's only simply anxiety. Yeah, it's awful. It is really awful. I thank God that I haven't obviously delved too deep into that, because health anxiety is a real, that's a real thing. It's a real epidemic. My experience with it, I would say, is that whenever I would get sort of confused over a symptom, if I was, yeah, basically a lot of symptoms that I've struggled with, obviously before, and of course I still struggle with anxiety every day, but it's different now because I'm actually allowing the symptoms to be there. All this time I've been fighting the symptoms, and I'm just like, trying to figure them out, instead of just letting them pass through my body, knowing that there's no actual danger there, and that is the way to recovery. But obviously before that, how anxiety would manifest in my life is through intrusive thoughts. Now, I would get these intrusive OCD thoughts. um it's just silly, like it's sort of like obsessive, really, and I would just think the same thought over and over and over again. And what I found myself doing, I found myself trying to suppress thoughts, and that's an absolute, it doesn't work, because the mind doesn't work like that. What we resist persists. And so if you're running away from your anxiety, it'll only get worse. But obviously in the short term, it might get better. But it's not going to fix the actual problem, because what happens, you stop, you obviously just stop engaging with life. You obviously don't go outside anymore. You don't engage with people. You disengage with life, and yeah, that is the sad thing about it. And but there is a way out, guys. There is a way out. And so, yeah, basically, this is just what I want to talk about today with my experience with health anxiety, guys. Because as I said, it is a real epidemic amongst anxiety sufferers. And so, yeah. I'm trying to think what else to really talk about it, because that's really my experience with it. Um, but also, yeah, I might just end this video by talking about some physical symptoms, and one of the most common symptoms is heart palpitations. Now, if you are, completely new to this, and if you've had, let's say like a panic attack or something like that, you can be totally convinced, because of, because of how horrendous a panic attack is. I mean, it is a horrendous experience, and you could be totally convinced that there is something wrong with your heart, for example, when actually it's only increased adrenaline, increased stress, all building up at once, and your body, your fight or flight response is kicking off at an inappropriate time, and you don't know how to react to it at that time. You don't know how to respond to it, and so obviously the most common thing is to try and make it stop, is to obviously try and make it go away, and then that's obviously what makes it worse. Instead of just sitting with the anxiety, letting it be there, letting it go through your body, just observe it like excess adrenaline. What's so difficult about this, guys, is that because anxiety can manifest in so many different ways, like intrusive thoughts and with bizarre bodily sensations, different feelings, different emotions. One emotion or feeling that I've been working through is our feelings of impending doom. Now, I've had these for years now, just like a feeling that something is going to go terribly wrong, even though that everything's completely fine. But what I found myself doing, guys, it was last week, where I was literally sat in my chair and I felt the anxiety symptoms come on. And from everything that I learned, I let it be there. Just what Claire Weeks talks about. She said, just take a deep breath in. Um, and if you're obviously sitting down, just get comfortable with the anxiety. Just let it be there, let it pass through your body, because that is actually the fastest way that it's going to go. But also, not only is the panic attack going to go quicker, if you actually allow it to be there, and also if you encourage it to get worse. Because I know that sounds crazy, guys, but when you actually strip away the second fear from the fear itself, that is possible, and then that accelerates the speed of which a panic attack will end. So yeah, guys. Anyway, I'm sort of losing my track here, but basically, guys, what I wanted to talk about is that health anxiety is an epidemic, and to know and to understand. Well, first off, I think it is important that you do go to the doctors. I mean, if you have been suffering from this for a long time, I've gone to the doctors myself. I've gone a good couple of times over the years because of anxiety and that, and they've never found anything actually physically wrong with me. I might have caught the flu, or got a stomach bug, but that's not fatal. And so anxiety can really convince you that there is something actually physically wrong when it is just anxiety. And so when your doctors tell you that, believe them. Actually believe them. And when obviously you come home and you might experience another symptom, let it be there. And of course, it is only our natural response as human beings to want to feel better straight. Excuse me, to want to feel better straight away, and that is completely normal. But what we are learning in CBT, guys, and cognitive behavioral therapy and all that, and to learn that these symptoms are not dangerous. They're uncomfortable but not dangerous. Uncomfortable but not dangerous. Remind yourself of that, guys, every time that you may find yourself panicking. And if you just allow it to be there, observe it as excess adrenaline burning off. And in 10 to 15 minutes, you will just start to feel much, much better. Or even not even that. It might only be 5 minutes, because you're encouraging it to be there, and obviously then your nervous system is going to catch on to that and say, okay, Adam's not obviously responding in fear in this time. We're going to turn off the stress valve, and we're going to calm down again. And so yeah, guys, this is great, because I'm learning so much by making these videos, and I really hope that these type of videos can be informative to you guys who are out there struggling. So yeah, guys, I wish you all the best. God bless. I love you, and thanks for watching this video, guys. Before you leave the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Put a like on it and comment if you want, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.